Hey everybody, Craig Howie here of Howie Guitars, and we're back for day 2 of the build that we're doing for the mobile lab for the St. Vrain Valley School District. And what I did is I brought in a completed Phoenix series so we can talk about what needs to happen next. So a few small things need to happen next. We need to make the cover right here that covers where the truss rod goes. We need to make the rings that go around the pickups. And finally, we need to make the veneer that goes over the peg head here with the logo on it. So a lot of work on the small CNC. Here we go.
So I do all my 2D design in Adobe Illustrator, and then I transfer it over mainly to Autodesk Fusion 360. You can see the pickup ring being designed here. Okay, and there's all the blanks that we need for the wood and the plastic. I'm going to start with the truss rod cover here. Double-sided tape to get it nice and secured down on the board here. As usual, first thing we got to do is plane it down to about 1/8 of an inch. And I'm going to use this cutter that's a 45-degree 1/4 inch. It's marking the screw holes there and then finally cutting it out. So a pretty simple one with this truss rod cover. Main thing now, just carefully get it off the board, and now it's just a ton of sanding. As you'll hear me say over and over again, lots of sanding. Okay, and there's the finished product. You can see I drilled the holes by hand. And then now for the peg head veneer, I'm going to drill some holes to secure it to the board with screws instead of double-sided tape. Makes it hang on a little bit better in this case. And of course, first thing you got to do is plane it down to about 1/8 of an inch. The cutter is this tiny 0.5 millimeter cutter that's going to cut the logo. You can see it in action there, cutting the name, working on the Howie, the Phoenix there, and finally finishing up the Phoenix. There's the finished product ready for inlay. So in this case, I'm going to use a filler inlay. Sometimes I use pearl, but this is a filler. This is kind of like ebony dust. It's called Rich Light, and I'm just going to push it into the cavities there. And once I've got it all into the cavities, I'm going to use cyanoacrylate glue to secure it in. Then I'm going to tap off a little bit more Rich Light to fill in any holes I might have missed. And then you guessed it, lots of sanding to get it back down. So there's the finished product sanded back down. And the last thing I need to do is just cut it out with an 1/8 inch bit here, cut the shape of the peg head out. So there's the finished product. A little bit more to do with it, some touch-up stuff later. Finally, the pickup rings, I'm going to use double-sided tape again. Secure it down really well here. This is just plastic, white plastic. I'm going to use a 1/4 inch ball bit that you see going there. It makes it nice and smooth. Then cut the shape out with an 1/8 inch bit. You can see I drilled the holes as well with a tiny bit. And real carefully get it out. And guess what I have to do now? Lots of sanding. In this case, got to go 220, then 320, then 400, and then all the way down to 600 to get it nice and smooth. Sand, sand, sand. And then I'm actually even going to buff this one out to get it nice and shiny. And then finally drill the holes that we need for it that were marked by the CNC. And there's our final product, ready to go. So we got all three, the peg head veneer, the pickup rings, and the truss rod cover, all done in day 2.